Okay, so we are down in the basement again, and I've laid out the cowhide all over this table, and that's only about a third of it. I'm going to start dyeing it and see if I can get it to the red that I want. So with the test that I did yesterday for colors, the acetone didn't take off a lot of the color or finish, or as much as I wanted. So I tried something a little more toxic. I just did an entire coat of gel stripper for like walls and paint to get all that off the wall. I did a layer of that and it took off a lot of the finish but not a lot of the color, so I'm going to go back with another layer of acetone and see if that'll take off the dye, and then I can start dyeing it. Okay, so we did a couple, probably like 4 or 5 layers of acetone. I just started pouring it on and splattering it, and I got this really cool kind of splattery effect. What I also forgot to tell you is basically with the thinner or stripper and then the acetone, you're drying out the leather, because leather is, this used to be a cow, it's dead skin, which sounds really cute. So you're drying it out, so it's really, really thirsty. So when you're putting the dye on it, it's going to be a lot more receptive because you're putting a liquid on it, so it's going to soak all of it up, so it's going to soak up a lot more of the dye because you've actually dried it out a lot. So I did another layer of the red on top of the first layer, so now there's 2 layers of red, and it's finally dry, like half an hour later. It's kind of purple, which is really weird. So I'm actually going to put a layer of the evening blue on top of that. I tried a little bit in the corner, it actually turned out pretty well, so I'm going to try and do it on the whole thing. Okay, so we just finished an entire coat of blue on top of it. Where it's drying, it looks still kind of purple, but it's a lot closer to the red that I want. And when it's wet, it just looks like a really gross dead cow, which is what it is, but it's really blood red. So I got most of that t-shirt finished, pattern finished. It's most of the way done, so I have to pattern the sleeve. I'm actually going to throw another coat of blue dye on top of the leather, let that dry, and then we'll go back to patterning. So I just put another coat of the blue on top, and it's getting there. It's getting as dark as I want, but the way, so these are alcohol dyes, so they evaporate a lot quicker. So it's really hard to keep them even, but when you put this one's a water-based dye, I should look up here. It's a water-based dye, so it evaporates a lot slower, so it's a lot easier to keep it even, because you can blend it a lot easier. So putting the layers of blue makes it look a lot more even, but I wanted to get it a lot darker. So I actually took this spray bottle that is for setting lotion for hair, because I just needed a spray bottle, and I mixed the remaining that I had of this, which was almost nothing, with some of this to get it a darker blue, and then actually put in a little bit of black, which is this one, to make it dark. And then I just diluted it with a whole bunch of water, so now it's kind of a water-based dye, so it's going to evaporate a lot slower. So I'm going to put this on top once that dries and see if that can finish off everything. I'm not sure why I didn't think of this before. So this is how the spray works. You can see kind of what color it is. It's kind of a funky brown. And I'm just going in and adding this back in, and it's making it a whole lot darker. Also, I'm getting it on everything. So I just finally ran out of dye in that little spray bottle. I think I got 3 or 4 coats on top of the blue that I did before. I think I got 3 or 4 coats of my magical dye mixture, but I also got it all over my hands. So I'm going to be blue and red for a couple days. So the fan's going right there, it's on high. So I'm going to let that dry and then come back in probably like half an hour and put the layer of finish on it, and then I'll be ready to sew. So actually I'm going to be a little productive, and while my leather is dyeing over there, or dyeing while it's drying, I'm actually going to serge these fabrics that I got today. This one is a rayon, that's a shadow, it's a rayon jersey for this shirt, and then I got these blends. So this is going to be a pair of pants, and this is going to be the striped on the side, and then I got this acetate lining, that's going to be the lining for this dress. So I'm going to serge all these and wash them and dry them and get them ready to sew. So I just put 2 layers of the finisher sealant on the leather. It's on the table. I'm going to hang it up and let it dry, and then hopefully we can start cutting.